Hey, Cliff, it's Greg Willits from SQPN.
Greg Willits, thank you so much for calling in. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I've never been better, and it gets better every single day. However, I could kick myself in the rear end nonstop for 40 days for not being where you are right now.
Oh, well, it's pretty amazing being out here. We're in Ontario, California at the Podcast and Portable Media Expo. The amount of people here has been a little bit less than it was last year, but the enthusiasm has been just as high. A lot of business focus on podcasts this year, a lot more so than last year, which has been a really interesting development.
That's great. What are some of the topics that are being discussed in that field?
Well, it's not so much. I haven't had an opportunity to listen to many of the talks. We've been so busy in the SQPN booth and talking about different ways of monetization. How do you do sponsorships and that kind of thing? A lot of companies are out there now that are wanting to help podcasters match up to potential advertisers based on the numbers a podcast receives, and then they'll help negotiate different sponsorships and that kind of thing. So we've had a lot of people talking to us about that. And just with SQPN, we definitely are open to doing that kind of thing, but we want to make sure that we're finding sponsors that definitely would fall in alignment with what we are all about as a network.
Right.
And
I got
in particular as a Catholic network.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited that you called in. I heard, let's see, breakfast. I guess you were guys on your way to breakfast this morning with Father Roderick, or was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
No, actually, are you talking about the episode that Father Roderick posted, Breakfast in Ontario?
Yes.
Yeah, that was on Thursday. We got here.
That's right.
We got here a day early because we needed to set up the booth for SQPN, and PodCamp was going on. PodCamp Southern California, PodCamp is going on all over the nation, all over the United States, where it's sort of an informal gathering of podcasters where quite often a training session where they talk about different topics about podcasting, and it's something that's set up for people of all levels, whether you're just someone who's just now getting interested in podcasting and wants to learn the basics, or you're a seasoned podcaster, like, for example, Adam Christensen from the MacCast was there, and he was giving all sorts of answers to different things. So it's a wide range of experience levels and a wide range of podcast or types of podcast shows are all represented at a PodCamp, and it's all user-driven. So if you are a podcaster and you want to give a talk at PodCamp, you would just, basically arrange that ahead of time to be able to give an impromptu talk at PodCamp.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we went to that on Thursday and got to hang out with some other podcasters before the main PME began on Friday morning.
So have you given out all of your gift baskets or gift bags?
No, we still have plenty to give away tomorrow morning. It's still going on tomorrow morning. We've given away several hundred of them to the people who have stopped by our booth, and we've had a lot of listeners to the SQPN show stop by, but we've also met a lot of new friends as well, and a lot of people who had never heard of SQPN and had any idea that there was a Catholic podcasting network out there. That a lot of people were still quite surprised, but pleasantly so. Very
cool. Let me ask you, Greg. I'm interested. What's in the goodie bag?
Well, we have a couple things that would be of interest to most people, which is just some CDs. We have a CD of the SQPN Sampler Show, which is an MP3 file that's available at sqpn.com. But we put it on CD because a lot of people who are unfamiliar with podcasts, it's just easy to give people a CD and they can pop it into their car and they can hear it, and that explains to them not only what shows are available on SQPN, but it also explains to them how easy it is to download and subscribe to podcasts.
Right.
The other thing that's on there is a copy of the 100th episode of the Rosary Army podcast, which is surprisingly already a year old. We just recorded episode 180 earlier this week. And we also have different postcards in there that explain about SQPN and explain about some of our other shows, like our video series, That Catholic Show.
Okay. I just want to let you know I've been following your tweets while you're there, and I noticed that Jennifer was in a panel discussion called the Women in Podcasting.
Yeah.
What's that about, and how'd that go?
Well, the LA podcasters, they've always had a presence at the Podcast and Portable Media Expo. There's lots and lots of podcasters between Los Angeles and Orange County. And last year, the Orange County podcasters had a booth and the LA podcasters had a booth. This year, they both sort of had a combination area sponsored by iProng. iProng is a company, I guess, that they say that they're the voice of the iPod generation. They have a lot of iPod-related products. But all weekend long, the Orange County podcasters and the LA podcasters have all been having a lot of roundtable discussions. Now, Elsie Escobar, who has a yoga podcast, she's YoGeek on Twitter. A lot of people follow her on Twitter and know her from there, over at Facebook as well. She came over, and she's a part of the LA podcasters. She invited Jennifer to participate as one of the women in podcasting, as a woman who's doing a lot in the world of podcasting. And so that was a roundtable discussion that I'm guessing will probably be available. I'm sure it was recorded and will probably show up on the LA Podcasters' website.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for calling in.
Also, real quick, also, you may be interested. Last night was also a really neat thing. Not only this happened at the Podcast Awards. So not only did SQPN take home 3 awards last night, including the George Leit's Catholic Rockers podcast, Praise Station Portable, and Father Roderick's Daily Breakfast, but last night also was the first time that Father Roderick and his good internet friend Adam Curry got to meet face to face, and so that was pretty neat for the Podfather and the Godfather to finally meet face to face, and so that was a pretty cool little incident that happened at the end of the Podcast Awards last night.
That is very cool. I'll tell you what, I am so jealous, my friend.
Well, we're absolutely exhausted. We're all in our room right now. Father Roderick's been working at the computer. He's got 2 podcasts that he's getting ready to upload right now. One is just an update of what's been going on around the Podcast and Portable Media Expo, and he also has footage from last night's Podcast Award ceremony, and he is uploading those shows as you and I speak right now. Those shows will be available on SQPN.com probably within the hour, so the listeners can start downloading those and catch up a little bit more, have that feeling that you get from podcasts, especially podcasts from Father Roderick, that really make you feel like you're right there on the spot. So, you couldn't be here, but you can listen to the podcast, and I'm sure you'll feel like you were.
Absolutely. Hey, one thing before I go to the next person that's there in Ontario on the line, Holden. I have to ask. Have you heard my news yet? I know you've got a lot going on. You may have not heard yet. But I saw the email. Congratulations. It sounds like you're ready to take a big leap of faith, and our prayers will definitely be with you on that. I appreciate that.
What's going to be your first step? I know that you're going to be kind of whittling it down in the amount of hours that you work. What is going to be your focus? Is it going to be just a podcast full time, or is there more to your business plan?
My business plan is going to be the primary focus. I definitely want to pursue podcasting, the actual going in and podcasting. The other parts of it is going to be a lot of consulting work. I had been doing quite a bit of that on the side, but it became too much for me to pursue any longer because it was interfering with my day job. So I at one point decided to put podcasting back on the hobby table and pursue my insurance career full time back in May, and kind of just not go in that route. And ever since I made that decision, I was more and more miserable every day I came into work, and so I decided that I just can't do that anymore. So I'm going to be doing podcasting / new media, and also I'm going to use all my skills in technology and the latest means of technology and how you can become more efficient in the business place. And I'm going to market my skills to specifically the insurance industry, and then the business as a whole. I'm going to try to do, first of all, anything I can do to get the bills paid. But my passion is not just in podcasting. My passion is in technology. I love teaching people, and so I could probably get in there and market skills as a trainer. Maybe get into companies and teach their employees how to use certain programs, software programs, and even teach them how to use some new technology that might help them to be more efficient in whatever they do. So anyway, it looks like we. Oh, I'm sorry, Greg. I didn't mean to mute you. I thought I did. I sit there and muted you. I meant to mute somebody else. But anyway,
I said the most eloquent thing I've ever said in my entire life, and no one got to hear it because you had me muted. Thanks, Cliff. Appreciate that.
You say it now because I you go ahead. I am so sorry.
No, I'm very happy for you, and like I said, our prayers are definitely with you. It sounds like, I think that the consulting angle will definitely probably pay off for you, and I hope that you'll be able to continue to do all the podcasting that you're addicted to. I mean, that you love so much. And what do I always say? You have that Father Roderick-itis. You just can't help. You have to podcast everything you see, but it seems to be really paying off for you and Stephanie. So our prayers are definitely with you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Greg. I'm going to go to the next caller here.
All right.
You have a wonderful night. And is Father Roderick there with you, or do you have to go outside to get a cell signal?
No, he's right here.
Can I say hi to him real quick?
Absolutely. Hold on for just a second.
This is going to be the honor of my life right here.
Hey, Cliff, how are you doing?
Father Roderick, it's Cliff Ravenscraft. Oh, my gosh, this is such an honor, my friend.
It's good talking to you, man.
It is good talking to you. Oh, my gosh. I have been listening to your breakfast in Ontario and been eagerly anticipating, I guess, what you're working on right now.
I'm currently uploading. Actually, it's already uploaded. I think it's already in the feed.
Okay.
And I'm just currently posting it to the SQPN website.
Awesome.
And, but I've been walking around with my new. I bought that H2 recorder. That brand new Samsung Zoom thingy.
Yeah.
And it's great. I can finally walk around and do recordings and just upload it right away and then post it. So it's. I think it's going to be a great, boost in my production as far as sound tuning tours is concerned, because I finally have a digital recorder.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've been looking at it, and it's like half the size of an Adderall, and it seemingly, the way they describe it on the web, looks like there's like complete 100% 360-degree kind of surround sound pickup.
That thing records in Dolby Surround 5.1.
Yes.
Unbelievable. And it's small, and it's got a very good wind cap, so no, even if you're outside and it's windy, it's perfect. Oh, man, I'm so glad with that thing. So I've been running around, podcasting, recording, talking to people. It was draining. It was very, very fatiguing, but also an amazing experience. And, yeah, next year I expect GSPN.TV to be there,
Absolutely.
We should build a big booth, We'll find some sponsors, and we'll kind of try to outdo the LA podcasters, Orange County podcasters, and make it even bigger spectacle. I don't know.
That would be awesome. I definitely would love that. You
were sorely missed by all the people. Everyone was like, "Where's this Cliff Ravenscraft?"
Well, I tell you, just real quickly, the story was that back in January, I decided to pursue podcasting part-time outside of my insurance career. I work full-time. And I basically, in May, I decided I had to do it. I had to either do podcasting full-time, or I had to really quit focusing on that and do insurance.
Right, I know. And then you said, well, at first you said, well, I think I'm going to go for stability and, regular income, and I'll just keep podcasting as a hobby. And but now everyone came up to me and said, "Did you hear about Cliff? Yeah, he's going full time." Yeah, really. At least 5 or 6 people came up to me to tell me that. It's like,
that is great. I tell you what, I've never been happier in my life, Father Roderick.
That's a good sign. God works through your intuitions and your feelings like happiness. It's a very big confirmation that that's exactly what you should have done.
Yeah. Well, you want to know what I'm wearing right now? I'm wearing a solid black T-shirt with some white lettering on it. It says SQPN, the best in Catholic podcasting.
Oh my goodness!
I'm out here in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati. I'm promoting the podcast network that I listen to most.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's really funny because my wife's family had their family reunion today. And they're all, they're very devout Catholic, and I recall I recall the very first time when we were dating, I had just met them, and they found out that I wasn't Catholic, and they kind of gave me a little hard time about it, and we had a little fun, and we poked around some jokes, but it's been kind of like something that has just been a running joke year after year after year. So I specifically threw on my Best in Catholic Podcasting shirt when I went to see them today.
That must have gotten you some points.
Yes. Well, let's put it this way. There are now a couple SQPN sampler CDs in the hands of some people that had never heard of podcasting before.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
So, you guys are rocking, Father Roderick.
Well, you too. Oh, it's just unbelievable. I get GSPN withdrawal because I haven't been able to go online. I don't have a laptop anymore, so I've been without updates from the GSPN network for at least a week, and I'm feeling all nauseated and not really good right now. So I don't know what. I'm so glad to have you on the phone because at least I get my fix,
Absolutely. I tell you what, this is. I tell you, it's such a joy to talk to you, and I go around.
Never talked before?
Yeah, this is the first time you and I have talked.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. This is the first time.
How do we been? That's crazy. Yeah, we've been sending each other voice feedback, I guess, and emails.
Absolutely.
And I get the feeling that I've been talking to you for ages.
Well, I go around and people ask me, it's like, well, you talk to people, you get to actually know people through podcasting. How can you really have a relationship with anybody in podcasting? And it never fails. I always say, well, one of my best friends is a Catholic priest in the Netherlands.
And I've never spoken with him.
I've never spoken to him, but buddy, we are friends.
Exactly. Well, that's always the great, one of the miracle almost of conventions like this. It's like a school reunion with people that you've never seen before.
No doubt.
So many people walking up to us and saying, "Hey, I listened to your show forever," and you kind of make that contact in just a few seconds. Because well, I don't know those people, but they are, they share the same interest. Otherwise, they wouldn't be listening. So it's very easy to make friends, and it was just a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I Father Roderick, I will see you next year at the PME.
I absolutely think so, and we should keep in touch in the meantime.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I have, as you know, I have an iMac now. So, and I know you're a huge fan of iChat, so feel free to send me your iChat thing via email anytime. And
will do.
And matter of fact, I use the world clock on my iPhone, and the Amersfoort, Netherlands is one of the world clocks. I always know what time it is there for you. So
excellent. I'm currently completely time zoned out because I've gone through so many time zones lately. I have no idea what time it is in Amersfoort right now, but that is definitely a great. I have to. I press F12, and then I've got a lot of clocks there from Australia to the west coast of America.
Yeah.
And, it's great.
Well, just in case you're wondering, it is 2:58 in the morning, so you should be sleeping right now.
All right. My stomach tells me that I should be eating.
Well, Father Roderick, I've got some other folks on here that have called in, so I really appreciate you calling in and giving, and Greg too. Tell Greg and you guys, thank you very much for dialing, and I really do appreciate that.
Okay. Keep up the great work. And
all right.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Father Roderick.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Sorry about your hold. Who's up next here?
Hello. Hey, this is Podcast Junkie. How you doing, Cliff?
Hello, Podcast Junkie. So this is Megan. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Megan, how are you doing at the Podcast and Portable Media Expo?
I am having an absolute blast. This is a geek's heaven. It is so much fun.
You know it's a geek heaven when you're sitting there and you're watching people play Twitter tag. What's up with that?
Well, I haven't been on Twitter very much. I was on it a little while ago because I had done so many interviews on my Zoom H2 that I had to stop for a little while and download them onto my laptop just to make some room. So I was twittering a little bit while I was doing that, but I've just been running around here looking at name tags and getting quick little interviews with people. It's been absolutely a blast.
That is awesome. Well, I'm so glad you called in. What has been your favorite or most memorable thing from the PME so far?
I got a 12-minute interview with Father Roderick, and it just made my day. It was actually just one of the first interviews that I had done. My very first interview of the day, I forgot to hit record. So fortunately, I did hit record on his interview, and he was very gracious with his time and talked to me for 12 minutes. And he mentioned you when I asked my tagline is, what are you listening to? And I give the podcasters a chance to kind of promote the shows that they listen to, and you were definitely one of them that he mentioned. I want you to know that.
Well, awesome. And let me ask you this, just so my listeners will know. This is going to go out in the Podcast Answer Man feed.
Okay.
What is your podcast, and where can they find it?
Well, my podcast is Podcast Junkie. They can find it on iTunes, and it is Podcast Junkie. It's spelled with a Y, all one word.
PodcastJunkie.com.
They can find it at podcastjunkie.com. I don't have a link right now up to iTunes, so you can listen to the show there on podcastjunkie.com, and you can find me in iTunes also. I'm working on getting some better feed action going there to get on all of the registers.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. Now, when are you going to release that first interview with Father Roderick?
Well, the way I do my show, as I'm listening to a podcast, and I decide, boy, if someone were to give this podcast a chance, this is the episode they should start with. And I get out my recorder and I talk about the podcast, and then I put it up as soon as I can get it edited. So what I'm going to do with these interviews is when I'm reviewing a show that I think is a good fit, people who would like the show I'm reviewing would probably also like the ones mentioned in this particular interview. I'm going to pair those up. So the next time that I'm doing something that I think would have a universal audience between Father Roderick and the show I'm reviewing, that's when it'll go up. But I'll give you a sneak preview if you want to, Cliff. I'll send it to you when I get home, probably Sunday afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is so cool. Well, Megan, I've got another person on hold here. I want to thank you for dialing in and taking the time. I know you had to get a good cell signal and go turn down the laptop and stuff, but I really appreciate you coming and sharing your experience there at PME.
No problem. I did want to mention a few of the other people that I've met here that were a real highlight. Charles Cadenhead from Desperate Husband, the Mommy Cast. I got to talk to Paige and Gretchen. I got to talk to Scott Sigler today and interview him. Alex Albrecht was not supposed to be here, but his flight was canceled, and he was here for just a short time. So Alex Albrecht from Dignation. I met Shuby. Shuby's been hanging out. That's Leo Laporte's Shuby has been hanging out over at the Orange County Podcasters booth, and I'm part of that group. So I've got to meet him. And the Dr. Floyd show. I saw the Dr. Floyd show live. It is awesome. Make sure you get tickets. If you're coming next year, they do a live show every year. It is very funny. So make sure you get tickets for that next year.
Absolutely.
So, and Paul Berry from Window to the Magic. It's a Disney podcast.
Awesome.
So those are some of my favorites I got to run into, and I feel like I've gotten to talk to all these celebrities. It's very exciting weekend.
Very cool. Well, I will see you next year for certain. There is no doubt. I'm in this for the long haul.
Well, you can expect me to be putting a microphone in front of your face and asking you what you're listening to.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All righty. We got one more caller on the hold here. Hello. It's Mike Finks.
That's me.
Mike, are you at the Podcast and Portable Media Expo?
I am. Right now I am sitting in the lobby of my hotel experiencing some of the finest in almost can connect internet you can get.
That is awesome. So, Mike, let me ask you to introduce yourself to the listeners of the Podcast Answer Man podcast, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and what podcasts you produce or which ones you produce, and we'll go from there.
Great. Well, I'm Mike James. I produce Mike Thinks. also known as Mike Thinks News. It's a twice-a-week show covering some of the news stories that maybe didn't quite make the front page but probably should have. Occasionally I'll cover something that was on the front page, but I stay away from the Britney Spears and the iPhone and all that stuff. I go ahead and let CNN cover all that stuff. I do a show here on TalkShoe with my wife called Let's Watch Movies, where we review movies and DVDs. There's a lot of shows out there like that. It's a lot of fun. It's more of a have fun listening to us argue show than anything else.
I have 16 of those.
There are 4 weddings going on in this hotel right now.
No way.
There are brides walking all over the place. I thought there was a wedding, and then I saw a second bride, and I'm like, that usually doesn't occur, at least not in this state.
So are these podcasting brides, or is that just something else going on in the same place?
Just something happening at the Expo. You know, the Expo is a lot of fun. There's all kinds of people here. It's amazing. You know, I know people are saying that Jim Lauterbach's here. I guess Molly Wood did a brief appearance in one of the things. You know, I think Molly Wood's one of the funniest people ever as far as doing like short-term video podcasts.
Yeah.
And she has her baby now, so she did one I don't know what you want to call it, show or whatever. But there's just a lot of people giving a lot of good information, a lot of great vendors. The real fun here is though to meet people that you've talked to or maybe listened to, and it's amazing. You put faces to voices, and I met. Do you know Trucker Tom?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Trucker Tom. I talked to him, I'd listened to his show, but I'd never actually met him. I met him without realizing I'd met him, and I'd been talking to him about 5 minutes before I realized who he was. And if you ever meet Trucker Tom, you will never forget it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'll have a picture.
I have seen some of his videos. He was one of the beta testers for VidBlaster.
Yeah, I'm going to have some pictures up on my website as soon as I get back to home at Florida on Monday. Right now, they charge $10 a day for the internet connection here if you want high speed, and that's just not worth it for how little I'm in my hotel room. And the Expo fee's been really disappointing. It's been hammering us.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine that there's a couple people that you're sharing that connection with there at the Expo.
Well, absolutely, and it's funny because if you get there right at like 8 o'clock or 8:30, you can get on, and it's not quick, but you can get on. Oh, look at this! I made it into the chat. You can get on, and you can have fun. But if you're after 9:30, 10 o'clock, you might be able to get on for 2 or 3 minutes at a time just to pop into your email, but nothing more.
Oh my gosh! Well, let me ask you, what has been your most exciting thing that you're going to take away so far from PME?
I think the most exciting thing, I did get to meet some people I've always wanted to meet. You know, you get Jim Lauterbach. I got to finally meet Todd Cochran, who I've, he's been helping out podcasters for a long time. I'm a member of the network, Blueberry Network. They have an affiliation here with TalkShoe. I got to meet the people from TalkShoe. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of fun there.
Tell me who you met from TalkShoe.
Dave and I am terrible with names. This is why I said the people from TalkShoe, but the main guy, whoever owns TalkShoe, I think it's Tom.
That's Dave Nelson.
Okay, Dave wasn't there. I think Tom was there. Then one of them wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Tom, there's Scholler and Brian Scholler. There's Aaron Browser. There's all kinds of good guys.
Yeah, this is why I always have cliff notes. Jules.
Jules, yeah.
Yeah, Jules is there. And, we just had a lot of fun. Also saw the main guy from Ustream.
Oh, yeah, Brad.
I got to help him out. If you go to Ustream, I took a picture of him with one of his favorite talents, Mason. And he just didn't have a picture of the two of them together, so I was able to give him a picture of that as well as a picture of the guy who came over and said, "You're too loud. You turn it down." You know. Are you familiar with Matthew Ebel?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love, what is it, Rain? That's my favorite song.
He does a couple great songs. I think he does about 50. Oh, there's the TalkShoe guys. Hey, TalkShoe guys.
Hey, tell the TalkShoe guys Cliff Ravenscraft says hello.
Cliff says hello on TalkShoe. They don't care. Okay. no, they're on a mission. So anyway, where was I? But the guy came around with a sound pressure meter. while Matthew Ebel was playing, because there were some people like an aisle over doing a live show, some live radio shows, and they were like, "Oh, it's too loud, we can't hear it." So I told them they should get rid of the sound pressure meter and find a talent meter. That way we could play as loud as we wanted. But
there you go.
But it was a lot of fun, meeting the people from TalkShoe and Ustreamer and Blueberry, which are the three main networks that I really affiliate with. A lot of fun, and just meeting all the podcasters here. I have to go back up to my room and get all my cards. I made 100 business cards, and I'm almost out. So
yeah,
I still
go ahead.
I still do have about 4 Mike Thinks News T-shirts left. I'll be giving out tonight at the concert. So if you happen to be at the concert, I'll be the one in the glow in the dark shirt.
Well, I will definitely be putting this into the feed. Unfortunately, though, I think by the time this gets into the podcast Answer Man feed, that concert will have been over and everybody will be heading to bed. But
but you never know who could be listening right now that you can't see.
Oh, that's right. They do have those live streamers. So hey,
you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, it's been awesome talking with you. And I thank you for calling in from Ontario, California. And it's Mike Thinks, and your name is Mike James. And what's your website?
Mike Thinks or MikeThinksNews.com, either way.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, sir. And
have a great day.
You have a great time there.
This show is brought to you by TalkShoe. Create your own internet talk show. Check it out at TalkShoe.com.